Hello everyone, it's NW Order for Life again. It's been a couple of months since I posted anything on this channel. Apologies, life's been busy. What can I say? When I do have time, I just have no energy and I just have no whatever. So anyway, I wanted to make this video to talk about Dragon Ball Super. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Thanksgiving is about 2 days away, I think. And yeah, so I hope everybody's having a good holiday. I hope your year is going well. But I want to talk about Dragon Ball Super today because Dragon Ball Super has been undergoing a lot of criticism for its Future Trunks arc. Even though people have been universally praising Future Trunks arc on YouTube, saying how, oh, the episodes were great and this one was better than the last and blah blah blah, and then they suddenly say, oh, the ending was terrible, so this arc is okay. And so I want to address all that craziness right now. Um, First of all, my opinion on the Future Trunks arc is that it has been awesome. I absolutely love the Future Trunks arc. I love the fact that time travel is involved once again. I love the whole timeline thing with all the different timelines. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. Kind of reminds me of Star Trek, um, because a lot of temporal paradox situations in Star Trek. Um, I love the fact that the scenery is so different in Future Trunks' timeline, how it's gritty and despair and death everywhere and everything's in ruin, as opposed to the present timeline where everything was, happy and sunny and people were lively and the skies were blue and, no problems. Like, I just love the contrast between the two. I also absolutely love Future Mai. I think her character is awesome. How she fights to the bitter end and tries not to lose hope by believing in Trunks, by rallying the people with her, and her efforts actually really helped. She and her band saved Vegeta from being killed by using smoke grenades and flashbangs and all these other tactics they have. She tried to assassinate Goku Black with the sniper rifle. Like, I thought all that was awesome. And yeah, and I probably should mention now, I'm going to be talking about everything in the Future Trunks arc. So if you haven't watched it, you can turn the video off because this is going to be really spoiler heavy. Um, Continuing on, my was just great, and she is a really good love interest with Trunks. Now, people were confused about the whole thing with Mai and Trunks and how they could be the same age and what's going on. If you are one of those people, Toyotaro, who is writing the Dragon Ball Super manga, he made an extra chapter, a special chapter, where he shows how future Mai, how she's the same age as Trunks. I remember that Trunks in the future is 32 years old, I believe. I think it's 32. And she's around the same age. And the reason is because before the androids attacked, Pilaf and Mai and Shu made a wish on the Dragon Balls to turn them young, but they didn't specify how young, and the dragon turned them into like newborn babies or something like that. So because of that, she was able to basically be the same age as baby Trunks in the future timeline, and they grew up in the same, grew up again to the same age. So, and you know what's funny too? In the present timeline, Mai was turned into a kid, but not into a baby. And as a kid, she still had all her memories, thoughts, and everything as when she was an adult. But it's possible that this Mai, now that I'm thinking about it, this Mai in the future, she might not have any memories because how many memories can a baby possibly have, right? Like, babies' minds are just forming and stuff. So maybe future Mai literally doesn't remember when she used to be adult Mai. That would be interesting, and I wish they would have touched on that. But yeah. So anyway, these two, they're on the same age, Future Trunks, Future Mai, and they fit really well together. She's a fighter fighting for freedom and the human race and survival, and he's a fighter fighting for survival, fighting to protect everyone. And obviously they're just attracted to each other. Why wouldn't they be, right? He's handsome, she's beautiful, so whatever, right? And I think it was a good idea from from, I don't know if it was from Toriyama or from Toei, or well, no, Toyotaro was doing it too. So yeah, it's Toriyama's idea, and I think it's a great idea. Um, but yeah, like Mai's been awesome. Future Trunks has been awesome. He uses his sword more than ever in the arc. At the very end, he uses a sword that's broken into like an energy sword, like Kuwabara from Yu Hakusho, like channeling the ki through the blade, through the point. In Kuwabara's case, there was always a piece of wood, but using it as a medium to bring the blade out, to bring the ki out in like the form of a weapon, and Trunks obviously redoing his sword, Kuwabara making a sword out of a piece of wood, whatever. But Trunks, full of desperation, full of last ditch efforts to try and fight Black, to try and save the future, and it really brought DBZ's feeling back, like the Cell arc or the Android arc when Trunks went back and desperately needed help to fight the androids, and they rehashed the whole thing, which was great because we haven't seen Trunks in when was Dragon Ball Z last aired? 18 years ago or something like that? Longer? I forget. But, no, that's GT. GT ended, I think, like 18 years ago, I think. But, or maybe 20. But, like, that's it. Like, it was good. It was great seeing Future Trunks doing all the old stuff he did and doing more stuff. He used Masenko, he used Gallic Gun, um, he used like I think at one point he used the thing he used against Frieza with his hands when he goes like that and goes like that. They really brought out all his old repertoire and added more. He used Final Flash, like it was really cool. And you can explain all that because this Future Trunks comes from when he trained with Vegeta in the Room of Spirit and Time. So you could say, oh yeah, well that Future Trunks learned those moves from Vegeta. Or you could say that he learned it from when he trained with Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super when Vegeta was fighting him in Super Saiyan Blue. I mean, you could say that. We didn't see the whole fight. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't know. But it's not hard to believe that Trunks would learn these techniques from Vegeta at one point or the other, whether it was in Z or whether it was in Super, with the Final Flash and Gallic Gun and all that stuff. And the father-son Gallic Gun, that was an awesome scene. Mimics the father-son Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z. There was so many great things in the Future Trunks arc, but the most amazing things about everything was Goku Black and Zamasu. Goku Black was this egocentric, narcissistic, sadistic, malicious, charismatic nutcase inside of Goku's body, and it was amazing. It was like Masako Nozawa, the voice actress of Goku. She did Goku in a way we've never heard Goku done before. Not like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It was Goku with personality, with wit, making plans, being extra careful. Like I said, all the sarcastic, the evil, the maliciousness. Like she just played him as like this colorful character that was like enthusiastic and like so evil. It was awesome. It was a Goku we never thought we'd see. And yes, it wasn't actually Goku. It was Zamasu in Goku's body. But that was even better because then you saw Zamasu and you saw how similar Zamasu was to Goku Black. But Goku Black was different because Goku Black had a superiority about him, not the fact that he's just a god and but the fact that he has the most powerful mortal body, like he feels invincible. So he had this air of invincibility around him, which Zamasu didn't really have. Zamasu just had this, cockiness and uptightness and, oh my god, I'm better than everybody else. Whereas Goku Black was like, I can't wait to fight. I can't wait to kill people. Like it was Zamasu almost infected by the Saiyan cells that he resided in. Like it was really freaking cool. They did such a great job. And the arc brings Beerus more into focus. It brings Whis more into focus. It touches on a lot of themes of hopelessness, of despair, of hope. The whole scene with Gohan at the end, even Gohan. A lot of people complain about Gohan eating ice cream and stuff, but that was a great scene because it showed Trunks how this Gohan is not the Gohan that he knew, and how the two lives are completely different, how the two worlds, the two timelines are completely different, night and day, you know? So it was great. It touched on a lot of themes, and it made Trunks realize that, hey, if he was in Gohan's shoes, he would do the same thing. He would be a family man. And he thought of Mai, and he thought of his mom, and one big happy family. And that's like, like how emotional this arc was. This arc was really emotional. If you were a Trunks fan, there's absolutely no reason not to love this arc. Trunks did everything in his power and more to be this amazing warrior fighting for everyone's future, for everyone's hope. Um, and even though he wasn't the one that got the final kill in the end, he beat Fused Zamasu. He did beat him. The mortal Fused Zamasu warrior. Trunks defeated him. And you could also say that everyone on the world defeated him. But because of this immortality aspect, where like no matter what you can't die, it's like even though the body was destroyed, the essence of Zamasu wasn't, and then it came this like matrix like entity where it was uh, assimilating everything around it into its own being, which is also a testament to how Zamasu's will to overcome the gods and overcome the laws and rewrite them the way he sees fit shows how strong of a character Zamasu actually was. So this was, an amazing arc. And honestly, what are the gripes about it? Oh, that Pilaf and Shu and Mai were really in the arc. Now it just got really sunny, so the lighting effects can be a little different. But Pilaf, Shu, and Mai were really present in the art. The little ones. That's comedy. Akira Toriyama is a gag writer first, and then a shonen guy second. And he loves writing comedy. He loves writing gags. He put in the Shu, Mai, and Pilaf moments because he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's lighthearted, and it does take away from the crazy seriousness. Sometimes you can't just be doom and gloom 24/7 in the episode. You have to have some kind of, from beginning to end. You got to have some kind of break. So the Pilaf people were a little minute breaks in between. That's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. You have the Gohan ice cream moment, like I mentioned, people complaining about. That's Gohan shows what he's done with his life, how he's become successful, how he's a smart guy compared to his father, how he's got a family, and showing Trunks, wow, this is completely different from the Gohan I knew, but this is a great life. I'm sure the Gohan I knew would have loved to live this life. I would love to live this life. Why would I want to fight and be a warrior for ever when I could, be married and have a happy family? You know what I'm saying? So that was all pointful. Baby Pan, Uncle Piccolo, that was awesome. You get to see more Piccolo character development. You get to see Baby Pan being a cute baby and hopefully being built up to be a monster fighter in the future. Hopefully way stronger than what they portrayed her to be in GT. Like, my hope is that Super goes past Z, and shows Pan become this amazing Super Saiyan warrior in the future, going, maybe even reaching God Key at the end or something. Who knows? Like, because Baby Pan was sharing the God Key in the when she was a fetus, for Videl. When they were doing the Super Saiyan God ritual. So, I feel like that is foreshadowing, like, in my opinion, because that stuff sure wasn't coming from Videl. So where was it coming from? You know what I'm saying? It even shows the energy coming from her womb or whatever in the ritual. But yeah, so this so that's not really a valid reason to not like the arc, because Gohan was eating ice cream because Baby Pan, had some of the spotlight. That's all building up for other stuff. And then what was the other reason they didn't like it? Aside from aside from the fusion retcon and the and the ending, how it all went down. I think they didn't like it for the timelines, and I love the timelines. I think it's fun. I think it's makes you think. Anything that makes me think is fun, because it's like the Zelda timeline. I love thinking about the Zelda timeline. I love thinking about the Trunks timeline. In my opinion, it's not that complicated. 6 rings, there were 4. Then Trunks made it 5. and then oh, and I'm sorry, no, there were four. One from Trunks, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's one from Trunks, and there were two separate ones, and then another one. I got to think about it, but when you think about it in the long run, it's not that hard to make sense of. And basically, I don't really care too much about it whether you can figure it out or not. It's fun to talk about different timelines, and you know, we'll get into the timeline ending in a second. Um, I just think that if those were little aspects of the arc you didn't like for whatever reason, it shouldn't it shouldn't override your enjoyment of the arc. It shouldn't. There was just too many good things in here. We had Vegito. We had yeah, the fusion Portera was retcon, but we had Vegito and he looked awesome, and we had all these crazy techniques from Goku Black. With like the energy blades that explode like a needler from Halo. Like that was really sick. The Black Kamehameha, all this awesome stuff that we had in this arc. Zamasu just letting himself get impaled or taking the hits for Goku Black like nothing because he's immortal. Like it was great. Everything about this arc was just awesome. Awesome arc. So pleased with it. So let me tell you about the only problems that I had with the arc. The fusion Portera earrings, I felt like they shouldn't have retconned them. They could have easily said, they could have easily created a way for Vegito to not be fused. They could have wished on the Earth Dragon Balls in the present timeline. They could have wished on the Namekian Dragon Balls in the present timeline. They could have even wished on the Super Dragon Balls in the present timeline, and they could have unfused Vegito, and that would have been fine, and that would have been great. And we could have had some funny moments, some filler of Vegito living in Earth as just Vegito, and then like meeting everybody as Vegito. I think that would be the coolest, funniest thing in the world. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. They decided instead, oh, we're going to retcon the fusion Portera earrings. We're going to create this new reason why Vegito unfused. And they can, because in Dragon Ball Z, Vegito did unfuse. We thought it was because he was inside Majin Buu's stomach, and in reality, it probably was because he was inside Majin Buu's stomach. But it was never explicitly stated as the reason, but it was a hypothesis by Goku. And the Supreme Kais, they never mentioned they unfused because of a time limit. So they could just add that in Dragon Ball Super. Oh, there's a time limit if you're not a god. If you're two mortals fused and you're not a god, they did. The only thing they said in Dragon Ball Z that bothered me, they said it was permanent. They said it was a permanent fusion. They didn't mention for gods. They said it was just permanent. So it's a retcon. It sucks. I didn't like it at all. But life goes on. It doesn't ruin the rest of the arc. We still got to see awesome Vegito go Super Saiyan Blue and do quite a few techniques that he did when he fought against Buu. He added the final Flash Kamehameha, which in Dragon Ball Z he did the Big Bang Kamehameha. So they put a lot of fan service into this arc, and it was really freaking good. The other thing I didn't like was Trunks' Spirit Bomb sword, like everybody else. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense at all. How can people cheering for Trunks in their heart, how did energy magically leave their body? People did explain on YouTube, they could have explained it. They could have said, oh, when Trunks was training with the Supreme Kai brought him to King Kai, and King Kai taught him the Spirit Bomb. They could have easily said that, but they didn't. They just left it up in the air, and that's going to bother a lot of people. It bothered me too. But again, it doesn't ruin the enjoyment of the arc. In fact, it was an amazing moment seeing Trunks with this gigantic, like, cloud-like sword with this, with the Spirit Bomb energy, and just, slicing up Zamasu and telling Zamasu that he's an arrogant piece of crap, and that it's unforgivable that he looks down on humans or whatever he said. That was awesome. It was an awesome moment for Trunks. It was amazing. I don't think that the ending with the Zeno button contradicts that. I think Trunks got his due. Again, you can't mess with the aspect of immortality. That when someone is immortal, they can't die. That's just how it is. So the only way that they could have possibly defeated an immortal was with the god of all creation, or the god of that controls all gods, the most powerful being in existence. That was the only way they could legitimately get rid of Zamasu after they decided that the immortality extends after death, after the death of the body or whatever. So, I don't think it takes anything away from Trunks. Does it say that mortals can't defeat gods? It does. And I think there's a reason for it. I think the reason is that the gods are going to play a bigger and bigger role as we move into the next Universal Tournament that's going to span across all 12 universes. And I think it's going to be a big thing. I think Toriyama is building up to a big thing here. Maybe the humans, like this is just some kind of crazy thought I just had in my head, but maybe like, Earth, the fighters or the Saiyans, maybe some, whatever, that they reach godhood, not just in, fighting positions, but maybe they can legitimately reach like a state where they surpass their mortal selves, not just as a battle power up, I don't know. Like, what could they be going for? I have no idea, but I think it's exciting to think about, why Toriyama specifically wants to show that humans can't beat the gods. That's interesting, and I want to see where they go with that. Um, and then the only other thing, you know, was the Trunks power up, which I didn't have a problem with at all. I think Trunks' power up makes total sense to me. Looks like he's got Super Saiyan. We know he's a Super Saiyan 2, so it looks like he's got the blue God Key with him as a Super Saiyan 2. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like Super Saiyan 2 combined with the blue God Key, and that was it. Um, Other minor annoyances, not for me, but for people. Trunks' blue hair. Again, I don't really care. I think it makes sense actually because Bulma's hair is blue, Vegeta's hair is black. Why is his hair purple? It never really made much sense to me. But if they want to say that Kid Trunks has purple hair and when he grows older he's going to have blue hair, that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. Why let that bother you for the arc? Um, so overall, I think the Future Trunks arc has been amazing. Amazing action sequences, amazing choreography. Sure, there were instances where the animation wasn't great, but there were instances where the animation was amazing. And there were way more instances of amazing animation than bad. And, like characters like Mai, Goku Black, Zamasu, Beerus, Whis, they just made the arc. They made the arc. The fan service made the arc. A lot of great stuff here. Goku's moment of freaking out when Chi-Chi was, when he learned that Chi-Chi and Goten were killed in the other timeline, and that, by Zamasu inside Goku's body, and freaking, that, uh, when he's pinned up against the wall and Zamasu is taking the blade and just like laughing at it, like he's laughing and the blade's right through him and going inside of Goku and Goku Black. That was an amazing team up. The whole team up with Goku Black and Zamasu was amazing. The choreography, the fighting, all great stuff. This arc, for me, gets a 9 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but it was damn near close in my opinion. And that's my opinion about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, apologies for the for the couple month absence here, but life gets in the way, and we gotta take things one step at a time. And when I have good videos that I feel like I want to share with you, or good opinions or whatever, that's when I'm gonna make a video. So. If you guys want to see more, subscribe, please rate the video, and thank you so much. Leave your comments below about anything I said or anything else you want to say about Dragon Ball Super and the Future Trunks arc. Thank you guys. I'm looking forward to the future of Dragon Ball Super. I love Dragon Ball Super, and I think anybody that discredits the arc for a couple of inconveniences to what they thought was going to happen, or for a couple of annoyances, I don't think that's right. I think you guys got to look at the picture as a whole, and you guys, especially the YouTubers that praised every episode, and then when one thing didn't go their way, or 1 or 2 episodes went veered away from what they expected, all of a sudden it's a terrible, terrible show, or it's okay, not the greatest. It was better than the last arc, but it's just okay. Anyway, the lighting is going crazy because I've got the sun in the background. So thank you again. comment, subscribe if you like to see more videos in the future, and have a great day.